Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to this presentation on the challenges of Islamic banking in least developed countries, the case of Afghanistan. In this paper, we explore the challenges of Islamic banking in least developed countries, focusing on Afghanistan with the example of the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan, with the objective of finding out the effect of Islamic banking in emerging and least developed countries, finding about the role of religion and Islamic concept to attract customers, and finding about the strategies to expand clientele through Islamic banking. Let's look at the big picture, the Islamic banking in the world. The last 4 decades have witnessed an exceptional growth in Islamic financial institutions. The number of Islamic financial institutions has increased worldwide from 85 in 1996, 200 in 2000, and 300 in 2008. Being a newly functioning industry, Islamic finance was estimated to be $2.2 trillion industry around the world in 2018, scattered over more than 60 countries. The top 11 Islamic banking countries by asset in billions are Saudi Arabia, 157 billions in USD in assets, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Sudan, Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, Oman, and Algeria. The Gulf Cooperation Council region was still representing the bulk of the global Islamic banking in Q3 2019 with 45% share of the total assets. It was followed by the Middle East and South Asia region and the Southeast Asian region with shares of global Islamic financial services industry assets of 25.9% and 23.5% respectively. Looking at Islamic banking in least developed countries, among 42 least developed countries, only 5 countries had an Islamic banking share in total banking assets based on the third quarter of 2019, which are Sudan, with 100% of Islamic finance, Bangladesh, 20% of Islamic finance versus 80% of conventional finance, Djibouti, 18%, Afghanistan, 10%, Senegal 5%, and the total Islamic Bank assets estimate in billions of these 5 countries was equal to $39 billion, which is about 2% of the global Islamic banking segment in 2019. Focusing on these 5 countries, least developed countries, we will look at the 4 columns in yellow. Islamic bank assets estimate in billions, people accounts in percent of the population, ATM per 100,000 adult, and GDP per capita. The Islamic bank assets in billion in Afghanistan represent a very small amount of 0.06 billion, even compared to the remaining countries, Djibouti 0.19 and Senegal 0.42 billion. In terms of percentage of bank users, Afghanistan compares to Sudan, 16% in 2018 versus 15% in 2014 in Sudan, which has a comparable GDP per capita, $507 in Afghanistan per capita versus $451 per capita in Sudan. In terms of development of ATM machine, Afghanistan is also lagging behind the 4 countries with only 1.61 ATM machines per 100,000 adults. In conclusion, Afghanistan is a very weak economy with one tiny GDP per capita ranked 207th out of 213 countries in 2019, Sudan being ranked 210th. This sluggish state of the economy, unfortunately, explains the underdeveloped banking sector in Afghanistan. Let's looking at the Islamic banking in Afghanistan. It's a small sector with 12 banks in total. 6 are Islamic windows in conventional banks, and 1 is a full-fledged Islamic bank, the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan that we are going to study. According to Biscayo, the bulk of Islamic financing in Afghanistan is offered via only 2 types of Sharia compliant structure, Murabaha, the cost plus profit arrangement, and Ijara, the leasing-based contract. At the end of Q2 2018, IBA, the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan, and the six Islamic windows held a combined 27.8 billion Afghani, which is 365.5 million of US dollar versus 127.5 million US dollar in 2014. Out of the 365.5 millions, 60% of the Islamic asset are held by the six Islamic windows and 40% by IBA. Comparing 365.5 millions to 2.4 billion, which is the size of the Islamic banking assets of Algeria in 2018, which is the 11th largest Islamic banking country, it confirms the very small size of Islamic banking assets in Afghanistan. 365 US million compared to these top 11 Islamic banking countries, very, very small share. Let's look at the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan. So it was previously known as Bakhtar Bank, which was a conventional bank, and the Afghanistan Bank, the Central Bank of Afghanistan, awarded the license to IBA as the first full-fledged Islamic bank in 2018, after IBA completed the conversion of its balance sheet into Islamic finance. IBA agreed to adhere to religious principles, and IBA website offers a variety of Sharia-compliant products such as Mudaraba, Murabaha, Ijara, Istisna, Musharaka, and Salam. But what is the reality of the use of this product by IBA? Referring to the IBA's financial statement of the first 9 months of 2020, the revenue from the bank share as Mudarib was representing 14% of the total bank revenue, the net fee and commission income 9%, the foreign exchange gain, which was the bulk of the revenue, 49%, and the capital gain 16%, and over non-operating income 13%. Under the item bank share as Mudarib, the bank acts as the agent, Mudarib, on behalf of depositor who invested in a partnership equity-based trust financing called Mudaraba with the bank. IBA offers two types of Mudaraba accounts, saving account and fixed-term account. Under the bank share as Mudarib, the bank invested in two main Islamic products during the first 9 months of 2020. Muraba, who represented 10% of the total bank revenue, and diminishing Musharaka, only 0.4% of the total revenue. In addition, the bank invested in corporate and sovereign Islamic bonds, called Sukuk, under the bank share as Mudarib. What are our research questions? Twofold. What are the ways to increase the number of Islamic banking users? And what are the challenges for Islamic banking in Afghanistan? And the three research objectives are to analyze and identify the effect of Islamic banking in the overall economy as well as Afghanistan economy, to find out how the concept of Islamic banking affects the number of customers referring to banks, and to identify and recommend methods that are used to attract customers and build trust with Islamic banking. Looking at the literature review, we want to answer the two key research questions. What are the challenges for Islamic banking in Afghanistan, and what are the ways to increase the number of Islamic banking users? Let's look at these items: effects and impact of Islamic banking. The last 4 decades have marked, as we said earlier, on exceptional growth in Islamic financial institutions. Being a newly functioning industry, Islamic finance around the world was estimated to 2.2 trillion US dollar industry, scattered over 60 countries in 2018. Considering the MENA region, Islamic institutions have been an important element, driver of the development in the region, and more businesses and entrepreneurs have been backed by Islamic banks. However, in Afghanistan, it has witnessed moderate growth in the banking sector. Quick reminder, the top 5 Islamic banking countries: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain. So what is $365 million compared to $157 billion US. So nothing. So just to remind you that Islamic banking in Afghanistan is still marginal. Rise of Islamic banking and attraction of customers. So what the literature review says, practice of Islamic banking slowly shot up in the 80s. Operation of Islamic banking was initiated with the interest-free feature. Public perception has been crucial in attracting customers. Most important factors affecting the customers of Islamic banking have been their way of marketing and awareness campaigns. Islamic banking has enabled poor people to do businesses in a cheaper way and to improve their living standards. And to attract non-Muslim, Islamic banks needed to promote banks' products and services, good customer relationship, and effective and efficient services. How to build trust through Islamic banking? The literature says that with time, Islamic banks have experienced increased competitions and have been required to change their strategy and their traditional methods. They have improved their marketing strategy to create awareness and trust as a safer alternative for their customers to conventional banking. Studies have shown that Islamic banks should properly dispense knowledge that Islamic banking operations are fully Sharia compliant, being the main advantage that Islamic banks hold, and building a strong and dominant customer relationship, as well as analyzing the customer behaviors, has led to addressing the needs correctly and increasing customers' trust and satisfaction. On the basis for competitions and retaining customers, to be competitive with conventional banking, Islamic banks need to consider these options. Use more advanced technology of measurement of performance and risk, controlling credit and operational risk. Improve their technical efficiency. Islamic banks also have to extend their size via mergers and acquisition with other Islamic financial institutions. And they need to create and design new Islamic products and services and rationalize their operating costs. What about the methodology? We distributed a self-developed questionnaire that was collected from a sample of 24 employees and managers of the unique fully fledged bank in Afghanistan, the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan. And we made an extensive literature review to explore the methods used and the services offered by Islamic banks across many countries in order to benchmark the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan marketing strategy. What are our findings? So this is our questionnaires and the answers. Which Islamic products of the bank are mostly used? Mainly Murabaa first and Mudaraba second. What emotions do you want to associate with your product? Trust first, comfort two, and security third. Who are most likely your target audience? Businesses and businessmen. How do you rate the current incentives IBA used to attract customers? 7 out of 10. To what extent do you agree with the statement that IBA's users have increased after evolving into an Islamic institution from Bakhtar Bank? Strongly agree and agree are the bulk of the answers. To what extent has IBA been able to spread awareness about the Sharia compliant products it offers? 46%, a lot. 33%, a great deal. How satisfied are you with the current marketing strategy of the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan to target the customers? Satisfied, mainly, and very satisfied, second. How do you evaluate the level of success in IBA's marketing? 42% exceed expectation, 46% meet expectation. IBA employees are helpful with customers? Strongly agree, the majority. Agree, second. They are friendly with customers? Strongly agree and agree. They have the required knowledge of a banker? Strongly agree, and neither agree or nor disagree. They act professionally with customers? Strongly agree. Then neither agree nor disagree. How likely it is that you will recommend IBA for your family, friends, or colleagues? Very likely, 75%. So what are the findings? The research provides insight of the transition from conventional to Islamic banking. Islamic banking contributes to economic growth, just like other conventional banks, providing interest-free and Sharia-compliant services. Examining case studies and success stories of Islamic banking, it has been found that innovative marketing and awareness campaigns about Islamic banking add significant importance in attracting more customers. The need to refine marketing strategy has been substantiated through the survey collected from the employees of the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan. In addition, Islamic banks could gain market share from conventional banking by differentiating themselves with more innovative products, because the concept of religion and trust do not appear to be sufficient as marketing arguments. What are our recommendations for IBA? Islamic Bank of Afghanistan mission is to be the leading Islamic banking institution that offer comprehensive and supreme Sharia-compliant financial services and products. It is achievable through continuous innovation in product development methodology, fast, seamless, and efficient distribution mediums, and best customer valuation proposition. We recommend IBA must provide and advertise a variety of Islamic banking products such as mudaraba, loans, ijara. IBA should change its marketing strategy to make these products known to the public. IBA should also focus on individuals with salaries, which happens to make up for a huge part of the population, and encourage them to open accounts at the bank. IBA is urged to associate their products with other emotions activities more than just trust. We thank you for your attention. Khuda Hafez and goodbye.